I'm here with the man of the hour, award-winning rapper Akala. Hey Akala, how are you doing?
How you doing? Not too bad yourself?
Good, nice to see you. So you're known for being very politically and socially engaged. Do you think your lyrics can bring about change?
I think lyrics are a reflection of how I perceive society. I don't think the lyrics themselves bring about change. I think maybe they can inspire people and people themselves bring about some kind of change, but the lyrics in and of themselves, no.
So you're really busy at the moment. You've just performed in Morocco and you're flying out to Jamaica very soon.
Yeah, we got a show in Algeria first, but yeah.
Wow.
So I got a show in Algeria, we get back, and then my first ever show in Jamaica, so that should be cool.
That is amazing. So what do you have going on here in London?
Here in London, we have an exhibition next week, which is the culmination of a project we did with the HLF, this is the Hip Hop Shakespeare Company, called In My Mind's Eye, and it's really a long-term project working with young people from all over London, looking at heritage and Shakespearean heritage, but then their own heritage, using it as a mirror, and they put together an exhibition, some short films, things of that nature, so that should be cool. You know, other than that, general stuff, working on a new EP, working on some new material for next year, some shows coming up.
What is the Hip Hop Shakespeare Company all about?
I just felt that the perception of hip hop and the perception of Shakespeare were kind of inaccurate from my understanding of the two art forms. I felt that Shakespeare is presented as the ultimate symbol almost of kind of British elitism, when in reality I think in his time he wasn't that. And hip hop is presented as this kind of unintellectual, misogynistic, violent, non-art form essentially. And hip hop is one of, for me anyway, one of the profoundest art forms I've experienced. It's something that inspired me to be educated, and so I think by combining these two in a creative, intelligent, artistic way, we're looking at what art could be in the 21st century, what kinds of cross-pollinations can come across, but ultimately also inspiring people to get into education and realise education is empowerment.
It almost seems perfect, a perfect marriage, Shakespeare and hip-hop.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would say that, not everyone would though, but I think people are getting what we're not trying to do. We're not trying to do Shakespearean youth speak in the estate for the kids, because young people will feel patronised by that. They know when they're being taken for an idiot. Whereas we're saying hip hop is an art form.
Do you think that Shakespeare is as relevant today as he was 4 centuries ago?
I think any great art maintains its relevance. So what I don't also do, even though we love Shakespeare, we don't put him on a pedestal over and above and buy into this, he's the greatest writer ever. He's an incredible writer, he's a genius, but there's many other geniuses. There's Rumi, you know, if we're going to talk about poetry from that part of the world, or there's Lao Tzu who wrote the Tao Te Ching if we're going to talk about China, etc., right? So there's many geniuses, but any great art, any true genius will stand the test of time. In fact, I would say that is the ultimate test of genius and of greatness, is how much it can translate consistently throughout the century. So certainly Shakespeare retains its relevance along with all other great artists.
Do you think that Shakespeare would be a rapper if he were alive today?
Well, I think the reason for us posing that question is because the social position that Elizabethan theatre occupied. See, today, Elizabethan theatre is sanitised and everyone pretends it's an authentic part of the culture, right? In its time, it was down here on the south side of the river, outside of the city walls. It was where the red light district was, where the bear baiting was. But basically where all the badness that the king didn't want to go on, or the queen when Elizabeth came on the throne, didn't want to go on, was out there. It was considered relatively subversive in its own time, but it had this strange relationship with the state where the state would also try and co-opt it, in exactly the same way as hip-hop. Art and power have always had this continuous dialogue, and I feel that a playwright like Shakespeare, who had this kind of satirical take on politics, and his criticism of power, even while being close to power, he had this weird relationship with it. I think maybe rap might have been the medium he chose to express himself.
Well, it's been great to catch up with you today. Thanks so much. I wish the Hip Hop Shakespeare Company all the best, and keep doing what you're doing, inspiring young people. It's really, really great.
Follow us on Twitter at HHShakespeare, and check out the website, hiphopshakespeare.com.
Definitely, thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.